We're working up a Wake and Rake specific intro. Chris knows some people who know some people.
Yeah.
It's gonna be high end stuff. I'm looking at some football games and some injuries we got here. Sadly, Chase Young not gonna play today. I thought he was. I was getting a little excited about Chase Young. I was gonna bet on a sack prop for him, but these books aren't putting any props out, so that's a little upsetting.
Okay, real quick, let's just run down these 3 games that's already happened. Let's start with the
Good
morning game.
idea. Which was the first one? Lions game? Was that the first one?
Yep.
Angela
was up there. She was up there early, dude. It was like 7:30. We were getting text of an empty stadium. She was fired up.
She was like one of the first ones in there. That doesn't surprise me. She gets there. She's driver of the fan bus. Let me find Lions Bills. That was a lot more competitive than we expected it to be. 28-25. Josh Allen, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. He's still looking like old Josh Allen. 24 of 42. I'm really starting to wonder if good Josh Allen was the mirage. That's not the word I was looking for, but it'll do. And this is the real Josh Allen. The 10 rushes for 78 yards and a touchdown, but 24 of 42 for 253. And some inopportune interceptions at the end of games. Dawson Knox only 2 for 17 yards. We had Dawson Knox go.
That killed me. I jumped him on our DFS, and I had took Schultz out and went all big with Knox, and I was wrong. Schultz was a way better player. Yes, Turkey Day.
Yeah. I mean, Dawson Knox had a decent game the week before. I kind of expected that was the turning point for him, but not so much.
The Vikings scored a lot of points.
Yeah. Much more than 3, which they did last week.
We had Kirk Cousins in our Trenches League, which is the reality show that we're doing, and I was like, "Oh, we got Kirk Cousins in a primetime
Not
game,
ideal.
Right? There was no flip, there was no pivot for us.
No.
We were stuck with Kirk Cousins, and he scored a bunch." Almost 40.
Almost 300 yards. I bet we would have got a bonus for that one more yard. 299 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. That'll work. Dalvin Cook carried it 40 or 22 times for 42 yards only. Wow, they held Dalvin Cook in check. This Patriots run defense is legit. But Justin Jefferson got him 9 for 139 and a touchdown. I did not expect that. I thought it would be a Thielen and Hawkinson game. Hawkinson did catch 5. Just barely over the 4.5, but we did get that one. We got the Swift receiving. We got the Hawkinson over receptions. There was another one in that Lions game, too, that we had. We did pretty good on the Thanksgiving props, I believe.
Angela says the Lions, those Lions fans are some loud and proud fans. I bet they are. Captain Kirk.
My sister went to a Lions game back in the Brett Favre era. Or maybe it was the beginning of it was a while ago, but she did not have a wonderful experience there.
You like that? You like that?
Angela went there in the Honolulu blue with a shirt that said Detroit versus the refs, so they're probably pretty nice to her. Cowboys beat the Giants 28-20. I bet that one just barely went over. Hi. Good morning, Ad. Get out of my face. 228 and a touchdown for Daniel Jones. What did he do on the ground? 3 rushes for 14 yards. Yikes. Yeah, that's not going to get it done. You need Daniel Jones to do that running stuff if he's going to win some games. So now we've got a full dozen games left. We got a Sunday night game, which was supposed to be exciting, but it's really not at this point because the Packers aren't very good anymore. Packers versus Eagles. That was supposed to be awesome.
Well, that's still good. I think it's going to be a fun game if you're an Eagles fan.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're an Eagles fan, it's going to be an awesome game. I wonder what Jalen Hurts is going to do. We usually give up the rushing yards to quarterbacks, but Jalen Hurts' rush yards are set at like 48.5. But that seems like something that he could accomplish against the Green Bay Packers. Let's check out what they do versus quarterbacks running. Quarterback, let's move it to since week 7. Got to get a little current. You got to take those first few weeks out. Quarterback rushing yards allowed. Oh, wow. Packers are down there just allowing 11 rushing yards per game to quarterbacks since week 7. Is it just so easy to do other stuff, or have they just not been playing running quarterbacks? Schedule. Boy, the internet is great, isn't it? Everything at your fingertips if it loads. Let's see, who have they played since week 7? Washington, Buffalo, Detroit, Dallas. So they played Josh Allen and Dak Prescott and averaging 11 yards rushing per game. Maybe I am going to stay away from that Jalen Hurts rushing total. I'm definitely not going to bet the under. You'd be insane to bet an under on a Jalen Hurts rushing total. He could get that 48 in one try. Guys, that guy's nuts. Good morning, 4th and Flex. Wakey. Eggs and bakey. And so forth. So who's going to play today? Josh Jacobs, hamstring, gonna play. Deebo Samuel, hamstring, gonna play. All the cool kids have hamstrings. Devin Duvernay and Demarcus Robinson, both hamstrings, both gonna play. Gus Edwards gonna play through the knee. But the real news is Deshaun Jackson has been activated.
Deshaun Jackson, like the
50-year-old
is it Deshaun Jackson Jr.? Is this the same Deshaun Jackson that we were drafting in 1967?
Yep, that one.
Wow.
Deshaun Jackson elevated to Ravens active roster. I tried to find a first touchdown
Ravens.
bet for him just because for old time's sake, but it's not
Sure.
available. You would have to bet any other player to get Deshaun Jackson in there. So I did the first touchdown, 2 touchdown thing again with Mark Andrews. We get first touchdown, then we get 2 touchdowns. That's like 49-1. It's crazy they let you do that.
Do you have our contest picks somewhere, Eric?
Probably in my brain. If I look at the slate, I'll be able to remember them. Nothing we're better at than writing down our contest picks. I know he took the Titans instead of the Eagles. And then we have the Commodores for sure.
Wait, is it the Commodores or the Commanders?
I don't know. Randy Moss called them the Commodores. I've been searching
Oh,
for a
let's
name
roll
for
with
them.
the Commodores then.
Football Skins wasn't really the best. And then when Randy Moss accidentally called them the Commodores, I said, well, let's run with that.
Yeah, we'll have to get shirts for that.
The Dolphins. We may have the Jets -5.5.
No, we didn't take that. Wait. Did Eric switch that up on us? Or,
Chargers -2.5. They're on the list for sure. 2.5 might be a better line than we got at the time.
Just a second. Did Will change our pick?
He
from
changed
Tampa Bay to the Jets.
He changed Eagles to Titans. I know that.
Oh, okay. So the Jets are left off the slate. Oh, yeah. Deshaun Jackson runs one route, pulls a hammy.
Yep.
You're probably right, Bandy, actually.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine? He's got to be, how old do you think he is? 36?
He's old enough to have some pictures that says, yo, you're going to let me come in and sign me to a 1-year deal so I can get some cash.
35. He'll be 36 on December 1st. 36 out there running against 23-year-old corners. Good luck. But it'll be fun. Logan Thomas is going to play through a rib and an illness. Yeah. Nobody's more fun to spectate than Prime Djax. Cam Jordan's going to play. He has an eye injury. I don't know. But the real news, Angela loves Commodores. Kevin Valentine, he's pumped for some football today. Then you're in the right spot, Kevin.
Let's go!
Yeah. Chris
Week 12.
Fucking week 12 already. How did this
happen?
happen?
We have to start really like digesting these in, enjoying them, being in the moment because they run out so fast. And then we're in the dry season and it's a desert.
Understand that we have this game
crawling to the Oasis all the way to August.
Dude, so much baseball talk. Oh my God. But we have 5 more regular season games left and the playoffs. So yeah, it's a finite resource. A lot of times I make the mistake of checking my phone or tweeting something about the game, and then I'm wrapped up in my phone for 20 minutes. I look up, it's the third quarter. I've lost the entire second quarter of a football game. and I'll never get it back. I need to physically. Sometimes I'll throw my phone across the room. It's like, get away from me. I've done pretty good as far as discipline of not checking my lineups and not checking my bets during the games. But it's bitching about what's happening on the field that I'm addicted to.
Let Kevin know what's happening.
Are we? Oh, here's a common misconception. We are fans of America. We are that kind of Patriots fans, not the New England kind. Although we do respect the greatness that is Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. We are not beholden to them in any way.
But we do love a good dynasty. And I mean, they had a hell of a run.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're Packer fans our blood is green and gold. But we're up here in Wisconsin. But we just love football, Kevin.
Yep.
We love it.
We'll have a 30 for 30 made about our team called The Dynasty That Never Was.
Yes.
About all the playoff losses, where if they just would have scored 27, they would have won Super Bowls. But no.
Or didn't draft Love. I mean,
Jordan Love, that's really all of our problems come back to Jordan Love. I would love to have like a Zappy hour type guy. I'm kind of looking forward to that once Rodgers leaves. I hope we get a Malik Willis or a Zappy hour type guy. Somebody like, oh, is he the guy? He might be the guy.
Hey, look, Kevin's on the same side as Heavy Steps. Listen, Kevin, and they're getting a touchdown in Lambeau, right? Or in Philly. They're getting.
You guys are gonna fuck around and make me believe.
The Packers are going to pull the upset today.
You think?
I hope so. No, I don't think so. I don't think I think logic says no, but Aaron Rodgers in a touchdown is hard not to bet. 17 years. We have a great data graph of who Aaron Rodgers is.
Yeah. You give him 6.5 points. I assume he covers that almost every time.
Against Jalen Hurts. Who is that? Is that a kid when he went to Bama and then Oklahoma something? I don't know. Yeah.
We've struggled with the running quarterback since Mike Vick, but you never know.
Just came in and blew it up. Remember that?
Yeah. I'm going to ask StatMuse. What is Aaron Rodgers' record? Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, real quick, Eric. When was the last time that the Packers sucked that you can remember that you're from Wisconsin originally?
When I was a kid, like 5th, 6th grade, we had Don Makowski, and they were bad. They were like a joke at that point. They were going to move eventually because nobody went to the games or anything. Yeah. And then we got Brett Favre, and he started just firing it. I remember I was at the movies with my 6th grade girlfriend, and I looked around, and there was just Packers stuff on people everywhere, like jackets and hats and shirts and shit. I'm like, this never happens. Are we good? Do we have a good football team? And that was sort of the turning point. And Favre got us to the Super Bowl pretty quick. 96.
Yep.
We were like, holy shit, we're going to do this all the time. No. We had a guy who threw back-breaking interceptions. One for every 3 awesome touchdowns. Oh, wow. StatMuse even gave Aaron Rodgers stupid hair on the animation. That's fucking awesome.
Hey, look at.
Oh, I'm on the wrong page. 7-4 need the W to get closer to securing the bye for the playoffs, says Kevin. Got Brady and Rashad White, and this Cleveland weather is looking like shit. Yeah, Rashad White. He should have.
So are you a Tampa Bay fan or a Brady fan? Because we have some of those.
I think he's like Will.
Because we have Will, we have Bandy. These are Brady fans. They follow Brady.
Yep. I don't think if Rodgers went to
No, I'm over it. You leave the Packers, get the out.
Yep.
Brett Favre, he was different. He was a down home. He was like our guy.
Yep.
He was our lunch pail. Thermos at Stanley, thermos coffee, put your flannel shirt on, go to work, kind of cheesehead. That's not Aaron Rodgers.
No, it was pretty split by the time he left. When he came back with the Vikings, they booed and cheered him.
That's tough, right?
Because by then stories were coming out about how he had basically his own locker room and he wasn't taught. I think that's what's happening now with Rodgers. There's a big divide.
There's a divide
between.
How? It's about to get live, boys and girls, because
he's back. There's the answer to how are we going to fill these
the best there is, plain and simple. I wake up in the morning, I miss excellence, and nobody can hang with my stuff. I'm just a big, hairy American winning machine.
Ladies and gentlemen, the coach, live from Yukon, Oklahoma. Say what's up, brother.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You're good.
I like how you matched his intensity there.
Yeah. Hey,
Bring it.
listen, guys. Real quick before we get started, there's one thing I'd like to say. Yesterday we were on with a young man, very impressive young man, and I was really enjoying his what he was saying, and we were talking, and I had some technical difficulties and had to disappear, and I never got a chance to tell him that, and
He's going to be back on.
well,
We'll have him back on.
I just wanted to say I'm sure he's listening this morning. I'm sorry that I had to drop off. I was having some technical problems, and I just didn't like how that worked. So I wanted to tell him, hey, I really appreciated him being on with us yesterday, and I really liked what he was saying. I just was having some technical issues.
I told him that. I said he's in the Matrix, man.
Yeah, and I'm not real good when I start having those. When we start going down that rabbit hole, I can't really come out of it. Yet
Can't recover.
Yeah,
Nope.
yeah. When that starts happening, it's pretty much I got to abort mission and start all over. So that's what we're
Johnny
doing this morning.
Calaway Sr., Johnny with an IE. You can find him on YouTube and Instagram, and he's all over the place on the interwebs.
Yeah, he was a
doing the thing.
great young man. I really enjoyed listening to him.
Yeah, inspiring dude.
Yeah.
Kevin says, I can't respect Brady anymore. Just wants to play for super teams and honestly starting to turn into Rodgers with his ego. Hey, I agree. He's changed.
Well,
now, will tell you since the divorce has been finalized that now all of a sudden he's a man on a mission.
He's free.
I got to see it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I will tell you his record does reflect that. So I will agree with Will.
Stats so far are lining up. He could choose to just put the black hat on now and have pictures taken with all kinds of actresses and really go the route of pissing people off.
Oh, I think as soon as the offseason gets here, he will definitely be cutting a big wake, and he will be able to get the shepherd's crook out and sift through them like peck pigs at the fair.
There it is. Boy, we got to have bingo cards. We got to have Patriot Sports bingo cards for our phrases.
I'm still a Pats fan.
Would be on there.
Hunter Henry did get in the end zone on Thursday. That was pretty nice. Yeah, he did.
Hey, that was
good.
good.
Talking about him on Thursday morning, Kevin. We were talking about he might be a good plug-in for a DFS lineup.
We were going back and forth about
fact,
putting him in the DFS.
my DFS lineup did well, gentlemen.
All right.
I did well. I think I ended up winning a little U.S. American currency.
Oh, there you go. That's the goal. More American currency than you had last time.
Yeah, no, we were on that, man. We hit the nail on the head with Hunter. We were big on Hunter, and he found the end zone.
He did.
I think
saw
multiple times. Did he? Was it more than once?
Bingo cards. That's brilliant, Eric.
The only kind of ideas I have.
Angela.
Brady's gonna be DiCaprio's best friend. I can see that.
Oh my God, Kevin, that is spot on right there.
DiCaprio loves Florida. He's down there all the time.
That is spot on. They're going to be on their private jet, saving the world, killing one oil rig at a time.
That'll be like what is that? Real life Wolf of Wall Street kind of stuff where he's on the boat.
Brady's already trending that way with the FTX deal.
Handing out fun coupons.
Yep. Handing out
I never lived that life, but I would sure like to.
Hey, do you guys want to do our do you guys want to wait till next for a little bit to do our giveaway? Let's wait a little bit.
Yeah, I guess. We had 158 entries into the YouTube
Thanksgiving
subscription
giveaway.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, hit the like button, subscribe, get yourself some free stuff. I mean, one click, free shit. I like that.
Hey, how many shirts should we give away? How many times should we spin the wheel?
Man,
17.
Wow.
Ouch.
I don't know if the marketing
inflation.
I don't know if the marketing department's gonna go with that. We might get shut down. Luckily, John's not here today. He would be the voice of reason on that.
Yeah, he would shut us right down. I said Heather said 3.
I like 3.
I said, well, here at Patriot Sports, I don't know if you know this, but there's one fucking winner around here. We don't do this. Everybody gets a participation.
You ain't first, you're last.
That's it.
You get a shirt, you get the shirt, or you don't get the shirt.
Or you try again, you go back to work and you try again next month.
Yep. Don't worry, there'll be more. We'll keep bribing people to like us. That'll never
Yes,
stop.
absolutely.
What shirt are we giving away?
The Patriot Sports one with the 1776 on the sleeve.
What color is it?
Black, or we could be whatever color.
You can pick your color?
Yeah.
Shit, I'm gonna go over and get into
This
this.
is 2020.
Yeah.
Let me get over there and register for this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Man,
Morgan will be here in 10 minutes with our weather updates.
We'll do it after
Outstanding.
Morgan. How about that?
outstanding.
Post Morgan, pre Andrew. That's what we'll do.
Yeah, I like that.
Holy shit. In today's edition of This Guy's Still in the League, Laquan Treadwell activated to Seattle's active roster.
Wow.
That's interesting. Why do they
That guy's
do
been
that?
around.
Yeah. He's like the anti-Cordero Patterson. He never just quite panned out. Patterson found the right team and the right coaches and the right system who made him awesome. Treadwell, not so much.
Yeah.
Who's not playing today? Jamar Chase, not playing today. I think we only thought he was playing because Joe Burrow said he thought he was going to play. Not
So
because
what-
of any medical anything.
So are we, can we stay with Tyler Boyd as a flex then?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Who are they playing?
The Titans. Titans pass defense is pretty bad.
Yeah, I say we have Tyler Boyd in. Now we need to think about that a little bit here.
He may have been stolen from our team or lost in the war last week. I'm not sure. You lose soldiers, you bring in new soldiers.
Oh,
and
we have a late entry to
just keep marching.
I
through
just
the
saw
trench.
Kevin subscribe. Kevin, let me get you in this.
Kevin
Get
is
in
our
this drawing.
man.
Look, before we even started to spin it.
Love it. Kevin's in. You know what? I like Kevin for some beginner's luck. And Kevin's about a -105 favorite there. He's probably on top. His envelope is on top. That's good. That's just good strategy right there.
I don't know who the Facebook user is that just chimed in there, but I would say no. You
I
traded,
traded
Mahomes.
Mahomes, Eckler, Devontae Smith for Tua, Tyreek, and CMC. Did I win PPR? Is that a redraft league or is that a dynasty league?
Mahomes.
Oh, who is Facebook user? What up, man?
I don't know.
We have a special guest coming in. Heavy Steps.
Oh, nice. When's he coming in? At
Right
this
now.
moment.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
What's up,
there
Heavy
he
What's
is.
up,
How you
Heavy?
doing?
How we doing?
Dude, I felt like Coach over here trying to get my setup going. I don't use a laptop. I use my phone pretty much for everything, and had to reset past that. It was a shit show, to say the least.
Perfect. That's how Chris is every morning.
That is exactly how it works for me. Every morning is it's like the launch code to the nukes. I feel like NASA and Sputnik have to align. It's the only way I can get in.
Do you have a book of passwords?
Oh man, I have them in my phone under notes. Now I have
Okay.
to change it because now if someone now there
At
you go.
least you don't have them written down. So
Yeah, I used to write them on my hand. That didn't work. So I'm
All right.
terrible at it.
Quickly break this down. Now we got 4 guys in here.
I
that
think I like this
play a
trade for
little
him.
bit. What do you
I
think,
don't.
Heavy?
Man, Tua is this year's been unbelievable. I mean, like the Dolphins, when he's played, their record's crazy. He's been putting up great numbers. Tyreek, I'm assuming that's Tyreek Hill. Then you've got your stack there. So and CMC, like that's crazy. So who got Mahomes?
Yeah,
Is
what
the
side are
question.
you on? Oh, he traded Mahomes, Eckler. and
Yeah, he
Devontae.
traded Mahomes.
Or-
Okay. I mean, to me, the Tua, Tyreek, CMC, hands down, I'd take that.
Yeah, you've got Tua's not that big of a step down from Mahomes.
I was just going to push
fantasy.
back on Coach a little bit. I know Coach
You know.
doesn't like that trade. I like the trade.
Like you said, Tua is
Devontae's just not. I mean, you got Tyreek.
You've got
for
the Tua
Devontae.
Tyreek stack, and his remaining games are he's through his bye. Now he's got Houston, San Francisco, the Chargers, and then the playoffs. He's got Buffalo, Green Bay, and then New England. You might have to bail for that New England game with Tua.
Just to be clear, I think I read this wrong. So he had Mahomes, Eckler, and Smith, and he traded for Tua, Tyreek, and CMC.
Yep.
So yes, that it's not even close. I don't. That's where I'm coming from. The Tyreek
The
and
coach
CMC
is about to
is-
say
is
collusion
huge.
here.
And
I think that's
I
the
was reading it the
CMC
other way.
manager.
I'm sorry. Again, it's early.
I mean,
I think that's-
Tyreek. Tyreek's he's got to be, what is he, top 3, maybe number 1 receiver, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and
And CMC book's
they
still
just
out on him.
retreaded his tires and put him on,
Yep.
put him over at San Francisco, and he's doing great things because he is back to being the bell cow status. Until he gets hurt, he's going to be phenomenal.
Well, they
I think
came
they
out
can
and said they're going to split carries with what's his name, the backup who I already forgot his name. And I think maybe that's the panic there. Maybe they're trading McCaffrey thinking, oh, he's only going to get 12 carries when McCaffrey can give you 120 and 2 touchdowns on 12 carries.
So
And the
Facebook
receptions.
and receptions on a PP. It said
Yeah.
it was a PPR league. So I'm not sure who the Facebook user is, but you won that trade. You stole that shit. What up, Heather?
There she is. Good morning, Heather.
Hey, Heather, can we add Kevin Valentine to that spreadsheet before we run it?
Yep. Put his envelope in the fridge for a second before you put it in there.
He got a late entry in. Heavy steps in the house. This is awesome.
Yeah.
There's Angela.
Yeah, he is a real person.
Yes, I'm real.
It's not a computer generated algorithm that just wins 24/7.
Yeah.
It's an actual human brain behind those picks.
Yeah.
I guess, if you want to call it that.
And I think I need to grow a beard because Moonoff, big beard, great at betting. Heavy steps, big beard, great at betting. I think that's the connection.
No, it's not.
It's all luck. It's all luck.
It's all luck. So it's funny because me and Eric were not on the Packers, and yesterday morning you were in the chat with us, and you were on the Packers with the touchdown on the road. And Kevin, right here, Valentine, earlier in the chat says that he likes Green Bay with that spread.
I do not. I don't feel as comfortable after reading all the stuff about Roger Stum, obviously, but I think that just could be an out if Green Bay loses this game. And
Absolutely.
Sometimes it feels like he always sets that shit up.
He's so good at that. He incepts us.
Yeah,
is what he does.
And that'll give the organization a reason to put Love in and see what he can do the rest of the way. But I mean, God, it's so tough.
Give LaFleur a free pass too.
Yeah, it's so tough watching Green Bay struggle, and because they've always been a household name, and it's kind of like, I mean, look at the Rams, 3-7, like it's insane with some of these teams in the situations that they're in. But dude, Green Bay's got a run game, so and I've always posted in the chat like just run the ball, like that's your best shot, like shorten the game. Hope you can play decent run defense today, and I think if that happens, I think Green Bay. +7. I mean, NFL is crazy. Look what happened with the Lions and the Bills on Thanksgiving Day. It's just some of these
the Eagles and the Colts.
Yeah, it's just you look at it and you're like +7, -7. You're just like, oh, that should be easy. And then it's these teams just keep it close somehow. And Green Bay, obviously, I guess it's their season on the line, if you want to call it that. But at the end of the day, we'll figure out moving forward if it's going to be Rodgers or if they're going to put the backup in for the rest of the year.
So this is Shane from Hawaii, by the way.
Our kind of guy.
He gets up at 4 a.m. now to watch our show.
He's got Will beat. Dang.
Neglecting my wife as usual for fantasy shit. He says thanks for helping him all the time. Yeah, we help this guy in the you can get into our direct messenger on Facebook, and one of us will pick it up. Shane, he usually gets in mine, and we'll help you out with your fantasy lineups throughout the week. We can jump in there and help you. So just hit us up on Messenger, and we'll do whatever we can.
Yeah, Chris is all over that.
I know his schedule is different. Hey, and you ready to get into some weather? You guys want to hear some weather reports?
Yeah,
today and kind of what we're looking at.
Morgan here. Morgan's here. Good morning,
Hi.
Morgan. Hey,
Morgan,
you don't
you're
have
just
your
at home
usual
for Thanksgiving.
You don't have your usual cinder block wall behind you.
Yeah, I'm home.
Oh, outstanding.
Yeah. Gonna leave back for the prison cell right after this. So
The prison
cell. Wow.
That's what we call college now, prison cell.
Well, it's an expensive prison cell, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
The best years of your life.
Yeah.
True story.
How are we feeling? How was Thanksgiving?
It's good. Got to see my
Prison
family.
cell.
My dad is
Wow.
really
Did
nice.
Dad shoot a deer?
No.
Did he go?
He
Did
went
he see
hunting a
any?
few times. He
Did
saw
he-
like a few, but didn't shoot them.
He's looking for one to go on the wall like I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
They
saw
did.
several, but none that were good enough to grace my wall. But I will find one. I see him on camera.
So does he.
They did not meet his standards, so they
Mhm.
get to live one more winter.
Hey, that's a real hunter right there.
That is,
Yeah.
that's well. Some would say different, but yes.
Hey, you gotta let the you gotta let
Really
the
impresses
young ones
PETA
walk.
people. I'll tell you that they really like it.
Hey,
Yep.
we don't have to get
Brandon's
into
America.
that.
I'm not letting them live. So
Now-
what do we got on the docket for the weather today, Morgan?
Where do we want to start? We got the east. It's going to be a little wet. Going to be a little rainy.
Gross.
So, Carolina, it's going to be a bit showered, but not too bad. It's going to be around 68 with 15-mile-per-hour winds.
Ooh.
Cleveland, 80% chance of rain with 13-mile-per-hour winds.
That's junk
Oh,
weather,
That's
ladies and
gonna be
gentlemen.
gross. That's just gonna rain. all
Yeah,
day long.
literally all east is just rain.
Gross.
Got the Bears and the Jets with 60%. Only 7-mile-per-hour winds, though.
That's gonna be an ugly game. We already got some shitty quarterbacks. Now we're gonna have a little rain in there. Maybe the under.
Yeah, all of these are like, oh, it's like 52, but it's going to feel like 45, 40-ish.
Oh, fun spectating today.
Falcons and Washington, again, 52, 99% chance rain. I think
I
they're
feel
going
like
to get
it's
hit
gonna
the
rain.
hardest.
That one's gonna be bad.
They're going to get hit the hardest.
Oh, so Terry McLaurin receiving props. We should stay away from those. I put him in the article and then I deleted him out of the article when I looked at some of the weather. Yikes. Yikes.
Packers and Philly, 99% chance of rain.
That's good for us, though. That means run the ball, right?
Well, it
Does that help us?
It means they should run the ball, which is
Oh,
the same thing that's happened
oh.
for the last forever.
11 weeks.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that they will do that at all. Did anybody watch college football yesterday? Holy moly, the meltdowns in play calling.
Wow.
I literally last night was just I'm from Oklahoma, so we watch a little OU and OSU yesterday, and both of them in the play calling department. Thumbs up, guys. Really, really, you guys sit around the room all week, and that's the best you could come up with at the end of the game. Really nice. Anyhow,
How does it feel watching Caleb out west?
You know what?
Heisman, right?
That kid was a star here. He's going to be a star. Somebody's going to end up with him. He's really good. He's just next level. But I tell you what, the thing that I'm going to enjoy the most about that is please, stars line up and get you some Georgia. Get you some Georgia playoff one. That is going to be so good. So good. That is
Hey,
going to
Coach,
be.
what about that Rattler kid over in North Carolina or South Carolina? He's a Gamecock.
Hey,
Is he playing well?
He's upsetting everybody.
What?
Last
He
couple
literally
weeks,
has
yeah.
come around and better late than never because he's making himself some money right now. I mean,
For
last
sure.
week he torched Tennessee. I mean, he torched Tennessee so bad that Heupel had to go back and refigure out the offense and what was going on because he was just lighting them up last week and they had no answer. And then he did it again this week. Got Clemson this week, which they haven't won in forever. The Rattler kid when he was at OU, he was really kind of a punk. And when he came out of high school, he had that show. I don't know if you guys know. He was on that QB1 documentary that follows they follow around the top prospects or whatever as they're getting recruited. And you could almost see in the tea leaves that this deal was headed towards disaster. And then when he got to OU, it just didn't fit. He didn't fit. And then they had a guy behind him, that was the Caleb Williams kid who is a generational talent. That kid is really going to change. I look forward to him in the NFL. I really do when he gets out from under Riley's shadow a little bit because he's going to be a star. He's really good. But, and the Rattler kid transferred. He went in the portal, which is the new thing on college. He went in the portal and went to South Carolina, and then he really didn't do well when he first started there. But the last 2 weeks, it's really like the light has come on.
He just had to get used to being around all those cocks.
Well,
Ryan H says, pick two, please. Standard League, Keenan Allen, Christian Watson, Christian Kirk, DK Metcalf, Ayuk, or Josh Palmer. That's a lot to unpack.
Okay, we can unpack this, though.
Let's start
We have our
by
weather girl
eliminating.
here.
Let's start by eliminating.
Let's eliminate Christian Watson with the 99% chance of rain in Philadelphia.
And he's lining up against Darius Slay.
And
Okay.
broken thumb or whatever they're calling it. for
Yeah,
Rodgers.
whatever.
Yep.
Rodgers already
All
has
right.
an excuse to lose.
So now we're down to Keenan Allen, Metcalf, Ayuk, Josh Palmer, and Kirk. I don't think you can play Keenan Allen and Josh Palmer. So you got to pick one of those.
I think you got to go Allen. I mean,
I'm going Keenan Allen here.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen is one guy. We can just put him in the lineup. Now we've got the number 2 out of Metcalf, Kirk, and Ayuk.
The one
Ayuk's
thing
been
you
on
can count on
fire.
with Allen is the Chargers are going to be playing from behind.
Yep.
Because that's
What's-
Chargers football.
Morgan, what's the weather in Seattle going to be today?
Out west, northwest.
Yeah.
She goes to college. She knows that's Northwest,
yeah.
I bet.
I was born in Seattle, so I know where that is.
I was proving that I know.
Okay. It's about 45 with 23% chance of rain. It's not too bad, but
Oh,
it's
that's
not,
it. Ooh. I don't
Not
know if
bad.
I'm not starting Metcalf and Keenan Allen here. Who are they playing? Sorry. That should probably
Raiders.
matter.
oh, Raiders.
God.
Yeah. That's a cake matchup. Is it just going to be Kenneth Walker over and over and over again? It might be.
I think, man, I would Ayuk or Metcalf probably. Ayuk, obviously, with the addition of CMC's, become kind of like the third option. But with Debo getting double teamed and CMC getting focused on out of the backfield, Ayuk's been stepping up the last 2 games. So
No
I think I'd
Marshawn
go-
Lattimore. He's out again.
yeah, that guy.
Ayuk might get in the end zone again. He's been getting in there. He's sneaky in there.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like he'll get like 3 catches and 2 touchdowns.
And that's enough.
Yeah.
But Metcalf, he's got the big playability. So
Ryan, here's my consensus. I'm starting Keenan Allen and DK Metcalf. But I don't think you can go wrong with starting Keenan Allen and DK or Ayuk.
Yep.
But
I
I'm not
think
going to start Palmer today, and I'm not going to start Watson.
any 2 of those 3 of Allen, Metcalf, and Ayuk, I would say you'll be good. Yeah. That's how I feel about that. What else we got in the weather, Morgan? Anything?
If you
What
wanna-
regions have we not explored?
I mean, we could stay west a little bit, do San Francisco.
Let's do
49ers
San
against the
Francisco.
Saints. It's about
sunny.
57, kind of cloudy with 8-mile-an-hour winds.
It's good football weather.
That's
Yeah.
bad weather for San Francisco.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is. That. Yep.
Yeah, they need a rainy, sloppy game to just pull Trent Williams and just run people. That should not be legal. Bringing Trent Williams all the way around to the other side of the line at full speed to take on
Jesus.
some poor cornerback. That's rough. What else we got, Morgan?
Down south, Jacksonville. Scattered thunderstorms.
Ooh.
75, 14-mile-an-hour winds. Doesn't
That's
seem
just
too
enough.
good. And then Miami. Again,
Beautiful, right?
83, 10-mile-an-hour winds. There's only a 13% chance of rain, so
So Tyreek is good.
I feel like we need a second headquarters in Miami. It's always nice there.
Facebook user, would you go defense Bengals, Steelers, Panthers, or Bears? Who we streaming today? Bengals, Steelers, Panthers, or Bears?
Let's see who we got.
We
Well,
can eliminate the Bears.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think I like the Steelers.
I'm starting the Bengals.
Yeah.
I streamed the Bengals this week, but it was a choice issue.
I think I'd probably take the Steelers here. Just
Yeah.
with TJ
TJ
Watt coming
Watt.
back, they're a different team.
Yeah.
It's insane how much difference one guy can make on that defensive side of the ball. And obviously they've got the rookie quarterback. He's coming on and good wideout. So yeah, Steelers. I'd take the
The
Steelers.
Watt
too.
boys from Pewaukee, Wisconsin.
Colts have allowed a league high 40 sacks already this season. So them and the
Ooh,
Bears, 40 sacks given up each.
Matt
So I
Ryan
could
is a
see-
statue.
Dude.
Yep. TJ Watt,
Matt
2
Ryan.
sacks plus 250. I like that.
Half PPR. Marcos Valdez. Half PPR. Kenneth Walker. Jonathan Taylor. Travis ETN,
Ooh.
start 2. Thank you.
God,
Boy, that's a great
you can't
situation to
legally
be in.
bench any of those guys. You'll be
No.
arrested if you do that. I mean,
We
I
also
think,
have Andrew from the Sports Gambling Podcast Network coming in. He can help with this question. I
there
bet.
we go. That's just what we need. Right on time.
1 second. Hey, Morgan, what else do we got for weather?
Just 2 more Bengals and Tennessee.
Let's figure these out real quick, and then we'll make the switch.
Love it.
I like
Tennessee's
Walker and
about
ATN.
55 degrees with 19-mile-an-hour winds.
Ooh,
Got
that's
it.
significant. Not a lot
Yeah,
of throwing. 20 miles an hour starts to affect the passing game.
Hmm. And then Kansas City, 45, 11-mile-an-hour winds, just cloudy. So not that
That's
bad.
manageable. That's manageable.
All right. And that's all I
Excellent.
have.
Thank you, Morgan.
All right. Thank you, guys.
You have a great trip back and a great week at school, and we'll see you right back here next week. Sound good?
Yep. Sounds great.
Awesome. Morgan's the best. On loan from the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, fantasy guru and all-around great guy, Andrew Robb. How you doing, Andrew? Welcome. We're
What's going on,
waking and
guys?
raking over here. How you doing?
Hey, pretty good. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate the invite. And yeah, man, let's dive into some questions.
Yeah, fantasy playoffs coming up. We got some people freaking out. This one, I don't know what to do with because, like I said, you can't legally bench any of these guys. Half PPR, Kenneth Walker, Jonathan Taylor, Travis Etienne. Pick 2 of those.
Man, probably Ken Walker and Jonathan Taylor. Like you said, it's pretty hard to bench Travis Etienne, but I do like both their matchups a little more than the Travis Etienne side. I do think Etienne probably gets a little bit more opportunities than Taylor, especially in the passing game, but probably go Taylor and Walker.
Yeah, even with
you can't argue that.
no, you can't.
I can
bench.
argue it. I
Go ahead.
don't like it. I don't. I mean, I think.
Oh,
we
that's
just-
right. You're an ETN fan.
Well, I love him, and I think that he's
Yeah.
now that they've made that trade, he's the bell cow there, and I think that he's going to get fed the most out of those 3 today, and I think that Taylor, we just talked about, they've got the Steelers today, right? We just talked about
Yep.
the reasons why we would go with Watt, and we would go with the Steeler defense, and that carries over. I mean, they're not a juggernaut. It's not the Colts of last year. I think that he gets bottled up today and doesn't do a whole lot.
You think
so I
they
like
stop?
that.
You think they get Hines off to the Hines isn't even there anymore. Who they got
Come
over
on
there
now.
now? Who's catching the passes? God bless this trade deadline.
I will say this.
They may get Hines Ward some passes today.
I'm not sure how healthy Jonathan Taylor is. I mean, if he missed a couple games, if you look at like the consistency, like he's had games where he's had over 20 carries and hasn't broken 100 yards. So, I mean, ETN lately he's been flashing. He's been had like out of those last 4 games, 3 of them have been, I think, in fantasy over 20 plus points. So.
Hey, Heavy, let me ask you this. What do you think about what do you think the motivation is for a guy like Jonathan Taylor today against the Steelers? I mean, you guys have seen, I mean, you've seen the destruction that is the Colts season so far.
Yeah.
What's that guy putting his pants on today getting fired up about toting the rock for 200?
Well,
I don't see it.
I don't see it either. I mean,
Steelers
Saturday.
allowing
We can-
71 yards on 20 attempts since
The
week 7.
Steelers play run defense, especially with Watt back.
physical team too.
Yeah,
Physical team.
Watt's gonna be a factor in this game.
Yeah. It'll be interesting though. I mean, obviously it's a primetime game, right? Is
Well,
it
that is
or is
true.
it is it primetime Monday night? So
Yeah. Colts
if you
Steelers.
can't get up for a
Well,
primetime
that
Monday
is
night
true.
game,
You know what? I did not think about that, and he will. That's enough to get him there. I could see it.
and he's he's been a professional his whole career. I mean, even
Sure.
before he was an NFL player, think about all the carries he had in Wisconsin and
Oh yeah,
all the mileage he put on and he
I
was a
don't think you
big
can
hit.
go wrong with any of those guys. Really,
I agree.
No, you
I
really
agree.
can't miss. Heather's back. She's got her Herbert or Mahomes conundrum. And she also needs to know Debo, Ayuk, Moreau, Ingram, pick 2. I mean, is it,
Moreau's been a letdown a little bit. Yeah, each week, like the last couple of weeks, everybody's kind of been, oh, big game coming. And last week, I think, was the week that they said he was going to break out, and I don't even think he did very much at all.
Evan Ingram has just been solid, consistent. That you don't hear about him. He's not on the highlights or whatever, but he's getting 6 catches, 5 catches, a couple yards, a touchdown. Can you start Debo and Ayuk, A-Rob?
Man, you don't want to, but honestly, out of these four, those are the two I'd play. I mean, there's just the upside for Moreau and Ingram is capped, right? You know, they're tight ends. Neither one of them is probably going to go for 2 touchdowns. Ayuk or Debo could, so I would just, suck it up and kind of play both the Niners.
How about Herbert and Mahomes?
Oh, Mahomes.
Mahomes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody's going to say Mahomes
Yeah.
until we see something different.
Yeah.
And with Debo, he's got the one touch. He can take it to the house. So that's obviously you've got that advantage over Moreau and Ingram are going to just be. They're going to have to catch the ball.
They're statues.
Yep. Yeah.
I
Debo
think-
take it to the house.
I think if she's in the playoffs for sure, Andrew, would it be crazy to drop Herbert to stash a defense or a handcuff running back?
Depends on what kind of league it is, because you don't want to let that commodity go.
This is just going to be a redraft regular.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
think she's playing against
It hurts
strangers,
my
she
heart
said.
to even say drop Herbert in any
Oh,
capacity.
that's
Listen, I like the Chargers, and I love them in fantasy for the reason of they play Chargers football. They're
Yeah.
always behind. They're always going to be down 21-3 in the first quarter, and they're always going to make it a game at the end. And Herbert's always going to throw it around the field. And so, because of that, he's never going to have, or very rarely gonna fire out your 10-point fantasy week. He's always going to have some, and especially with Allen being healthy. I just love. There's so much upside to Herbert, especially long term. But that's just me.
My thing with the Chargers, it's like, what are they missing? Like, they've got players all over the field on both sides of the ball, and
Leadership, maybe?
It's got to be like from.
It's an intangible.
Is it Herbert? Like you look at Mahomes, look at Herbert. Like the different way that they lead and inspire their team. But the coach is right. Like the way that the Chargers play, they'll go for it on 4th down in their own territory. So yeah, I love fantasy wise, love it. But
no, if you're a Chargers fan, I feel sorry for you because
it's crazy.
You're getting your heart broken every week.
It's rough.
You're literally going to be rooting for them in a 21-3 game at some point every week.
Yeah,
that's the Chargers way,
and it doesn't make sense to me, at least.
No,
Heather, you don't need to hang on to Cousins.
No, you can jettison him.
Yeah.
You can jettison him.
The best of Cousins' season is in his rear view.
Oh, she's good. She doesn't have to drop Herbert. She can unload. Gord. Oh man, all right. And she's still winning. Look at that. That's because she shows up here every Sunday morning.
Although I will tell you, we have a young lady on this show that really is banging the Cousins drum. I'm pretty sure she has stock in something that he's selling.
Yeah.
Coles.
Yeah, Coles
Yeah,
cash or
possible.
something
Coles
that
cash.
he's peddling these days. Angela
Possible.
loves him.
Hey, everybody keeps waiting for that meltdown for Minnesota, and it hasn't come yet.
No, it's because the parts around him are so good. I mean,
Jefferson is
Jefferson makes
insane.
everybody great.
I didn't
guy-
expect him to do a lot versus the Patriots.
Oh my gosh, man!
Dude, he's
the best
so
receiver
fast.
in the league right now.
Hey, Andrew, what do you guys got going on over on your podcast? Kind of talk to us a little bit about that.
What
Yeah,
don't
so-
they have going on?
Yeah, I was gonna say we have a lot of cooks in the kitchen for the fantasy avenue for SGP. There's literally a show every single day, ranging from underdog battle royales to IDP talk to redraft. They're a little bit of everything. Justin Bruni and myself do a recap every Sunday night, go over all the games, kind of touch on who we think is going to be good waiver wire candidates, who had good days, trade targets, stuff like that. Obviously we're writing articles every single day as well. I actually just dropped an underdog battle royale preview on Friday. So, that just touches on the battle royale. I don't know if anybody here does the battle royales for underdog, but those are
what is it?
Yeah, I was going to say, first of all, you have a team that's performing unbelievably. I've become I've become emotionally attached to this team you keep posting about. Tell us about the underdog battle royale and your team and all that.
So the battle royales are just weekly things. So it's a draft. There's six people in the draft. You have to draft 6 players on your team. And it's 1 quarterback, 1 running back, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and then a flex position. And
Okay.
it's
So
essentially
DFS meets
yeah, exactly.
redraft.
Yep, 100%. That's exactly how I would explain it. So it's DFS. But I mean, it's really cool. You know, obviously they're only $5 to enter. You can enter like up to 150 max. You know, I don't know. It's just a different way to kind of root for some players because I mean, I have some teams that are dead in water. You know, for redraft, so they're kind of dead to me altogether. So, you know, so we do a lot of DFS stuff, but. What you're referring to is my Best Ball Mania team. You know, that was the season-long Best Ball. I have a team that's currently sitting in 200th. It's about 80 points out of first, and first place wins $1 million before the playoffs even start. So there's 3 more weeks, including this week. You know,
To make those points up.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Wow.
I mean, I see what the top team has, and about half of my team is the exact same as his. So there's like Ken Walker I have, and he doesn't. So I'll be rooting for Ken Walker pretty hard to put
So
up
you have
points.
some room to move. So you have some, you can gain some ground. You guys aren't duplicated.
No. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it'd be really hard because it was 18 rounds.
Yeah.
If you're duplicated 100% with somebody, then the stars
Oh my
align,
gosh.
you know, so that's pretty
Yeah.
hard. But yeah, I mean, it's
Kenneth
pretty cool.
Walker, fresh legs. That's exactly what you need to
Oh, yeah,
make
for
up
sure.
some ground.
Yep.
Is that a team that was drafted during draft day 2.0?
It wasn't. I actually labeled it. It was drafted July 29th. So I got really high with a buddy, and we just did a draft together. And man,
That's how it all starts.
Oh yeah, it was
Galaxy brain shit.
awesome. Yeah, very macro. You know, like we have Barkley, ETN, and Ken Walker. Like those are our 3 big hitters on the running back. So yeah, so it's pretty nice. But yeah, let's see. 2 weeks ago it was 359th. Then last week it was 53rd. And then we dropped back a little bit because like Ken Walker and ETN and them were on bye. So it went back a little bit. But yeah, I mean, 3 weeks to catch up. But there's an actual possibility that I can win $1 million just from best ball, which is crazy.
Man, next week should be wild. We got what, 6 teams on bye. There's going to be some jostling of
positions. Is that next week or is that
week
week 14?
Week
14. 14?
Yeah, 14. Yeah, I thought, yeah.
Oh yeah, we got what, 2 next week and then 6. Why?
Yep.
Yeah, because that makes sense.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, thanks NFL.
Speaking
Eric,
of, yes,
we got Facebook user.
Oh.
Pickett, White, Keenan Allen, or Carr for fantasy playoffs. Pickett, White, Keenan.
That's an interesting like for what? I mean, I'm assuming that's Rashad White. I would definitely keep Rashad White. Is this who he thinks
It
that
might
he should
be
keep for the playoffs?
Mike White. Mike White.
Oh God, I hope not.
oh, Mike White. No, you can get rid of Mike White.
Yeah, if it's
Sure,
Rashad
he'll
White,
get
keep
back
Rashad
in.
White.
Pickett, White, Keenan Allen, or Carr for fantasy playoffs.
Is the Adams Carr connection enough? I don't know. Pickett's really starting to fire the ball around. Frymuth and Pickens.
Allen's your guy.
I mean,
Keenan
I
Allen.
don't really know what the question's asking because you have 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, it just we
a
got to
wide
clarify
receiver,
this
and-
a little bit more. Facebook.
Yeah.
user.
Allen's going to be the most solid points week to week in that little scenario. Allen is a
Yeah,
guy
but we're
that's gonna-
talking about different positions here.
produce.
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
it
it's a
doesn't
weird
make
question.
sense.
It could be like some
It's
weird
early.
flex, some type of weird flex.
There's
league.
some wild.
They're super flex.
There are some weird, yeah.
Here's the deal: we don't play any crazy. I know that
Yeah.
most people that do fantasy now that I talk to, the younger crowd, they like a super flex.
Yeah, Superflex is fun.
A lot
All
of
the
people
cool
are
kids
getting
are
rid of
doing
the
it.
kicker for that.
Oh, he says these are all QBs. Hang on.
Oh God.
Oh,
Wait.
wow.
Oh, so that's
Oh,
Kyle.
Kyle.
Oh, Kyle Allen.
Jesus.
Yeah, I think Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, I would say Pickett.
Yep. And fire. I mean, take those other 3 and if you've seen Anchorman, just kick them like Baxter right off the bridge.
Yeah, yeah.
Mike White, though, the Jets, when he starts, they're like they average like a crazy amount. Like it's like
Did you
27
find
points
a-
or something.
He found a crack in the door. He sees some light on the White subject. I like it.
Dude, Mike White, he
Heavy
threw
steps brings positivity to the room.
he
Listen,
threw it 14 times to Michael Carter last time they played football.
Oh.
And these cowardly books won't post reception totals. You just are so afraid that we're going to bet 10 receptions plus 450, aren't you?
I don't
20 and a half receiving yards. That's all they'll give us, Andrew. Do you,
Hey,
do you love
they-
that over?
they
20
always
and a
have
half?
control.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I do.
What do you
It's
got
actually
there?
one of my favorite bits that you do every week on Twitter is calling them cowards when they don't put out lines. That's awesome.
I do that. I do that every single week, and I'm like, I
Uh.
wonder if anybody realizes that I'm doing this bit.
Oh
that
yeah,
makes
it's awesome.
my whole day. That anybody knows. Yeah, every week there's 1 or 2. I'm like, where is this? It's 1 o'clock on a Friday. Why are you so scared? Heather says, so I made a change and now I need help one más time. Jamal Williams in my flex, so Ayuk or Debo. And should I play Njoku this week? Njoku, not a lot of numbers last week, but he looked good running around out there. I think Njoku looks back physically. What do you think, Andrew?
I mean, is there another tight end that she's choosing between, or is this for a flex? I mean, if it's between the other people, then Njoku's last out of all of these for me. But if there's another
she also
tight end
picked
involved,
up Foster Moreau, I believe. He's the guy.
Okay, gotcha. I mean, I would oh man, that's a tough one. I'd probably still play Moreau just because I like the matchup better. But the other, I mean, as far as the other question here, yeah, I might just play Jamal Williams over Ayuk and Debo. I mean, he has that goal line work locked up. I mean, they don't use anybody else around the goal line.
He already played though.
What?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Right, and Seattle Seahawks.
You know, I was looking.
So
at
if he's in your flex, he's locked in your flex. And if you're
Yeah.
asking like for your wide receiver position, which one, Debo or Ayuk, because you can't use them both now from your flex, I would put Debo in there. I think Debo's the guy out of those two.
Yeah.
He's the number one wide receiver, right, Andrew?
Yes, correct. Yep.
Yeah, WR1 is what I'm going to go with there. And then we have Foster, Moreau, Evan Ingram, and Njoku. Ooh.
Oh man, that's
Let's
tough.
see. Seattle's
Ingram's
allowing
probably a safe play.
Yeah, Ingram is just, I mean, he's one of those just get you some points this week, guys. You know, like we all wish Kyle Pitts would have been. R.I.P.
I think and Njoku's probably could score the most out of those three.
So answer me this if you don't mind, Heather. Are you projected to win, or are we like gonna ball out, try to like we have really no chance of winning, so we need some magic?
Yeah, if you're the favorite, I think Evan Ingram is the
And
move.
if you're
Just
not
get
Njoku.
10, 12
Well,
points.
Don't forget the Njoku game has crazy winds and a shit ton of rain.
Oh,
so
it does have a bunch of rain. It's
See?
Cleveland.
yeah,
We just had our weather girl on. So
That's why we
yeah.
bring experts and weather people.
yeah. I mean, obviously, you know, if they're going to pass the ball, it'll probably be short. So Njoku might not be a terrible play, but I mean, it's gust up to 20 to 25 miles per hour wind. An inch of rain
Chubb.
is probably going to drop. So
Oh,
Chubb
yeah.
and
Big
Hunt
Nick
are
Chubb
gonna have
game.
big days.
yeah.
So
Big
yeah,
Nick Chubb.
Ingram or Foster Moreau. Who do you guys think?
I'm going Ingram,
Man.
but
Yeah.
this will probably be the week that Moreau does something.
I do like the Moreau. I do like the Moreau angle only because that's the second highest total for a game this week. So
Yeah.
Some of it.
Seattle gives up a little more to the tight end as well.
So flip a coin. That's what we're saying
54.8
here at
yards
Patriots
per
Push
game.
Radio. Flip a coin. Throw a dart at the wall.
Hey. We've flipped coins before. The coin has won us fantasy matchups this year already. Speaking of the fantasy playoffs, Andrew, is there any handcuffs or defenses that might be out on the wire that you would recommend we go look for? I haven't really looked into defensive schedules yet.
Yeah, so this week I know I actually just went around and dropped a bunch of players to pick up the Chiefs. The Chiefs have a very easy schedule for the fantasy playoffs, so that would be the number one defense I target. Outside of that, the Eagles defense, you know, is interesting as well. The Commanders defense is interesting. There was one more. I'm trying to look at my.
I thought they were the Commodores.
Oh yeah, my Commanders. Yeah, rough.
What is a commander? That's another bit I love. Colby, every time he sees a commander's tweet, he asks, "What is a commander?"
Yeah,
They blew that one.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say the Chiefs are probably the one that I'm targeting the most. They have a very easy schedule, you know, for week 15, 16, 17. So if they're still out there, definitely I dropped wide receivers, running backs, tight ends to grab them. I mean, they're definitely going to be a leg up on everybody else. Their schedule's so nice.
Yeah, it's some tough decisions there, and that's when I get cute. I'll drop the wrong people to pick up a defense. I value playoff matchups way too much. That's where I get in trouble. I get swayed by the green numbers and the red numbers. Speaking of that, Commodores defense, Chase Young not back this week, but it looks like he's on track. He's going to be back pretty soon. When's the last time he played?
Oh God, last year week.
Early.
Jeez. Yeah, it was before halfway through the season. I mean, he had a pretty bad injury actually, and they just want to make sure he's right. I mean, He's a generational, type of player at his position. So if they can get him back fully healthy, I mean, that offense or that defensive line is already awesome. And adding Chase Young into that, I mean, good Lord, last week they held Dameon Pierce to 8 yards. I mean, that's pretty damn insane.
That's wild.
So I'm okay with them holding him back, making sure he's legitimately healthy, because if they're going to have any shot at making the playoffs here, they need him healthy and in the lineup, because there'll be a tear. I mean, they are hard to stop, and they are killing all the running backs as of recent. So
that front seven's legit.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Just for fun, Andrew, so next year I'm going to jump into at least one IDP league because I want to start to learn and understand it. Where do you put him next year if he comes back and plays a little this year? Is he a top guy? Like, is he?
Yeah, I would say he's probably like top 15. The IDP scoring, like as far as how I rank the players, is solely on the point, how you can rack up points in that league. I mean,
So
IDP
there's so many different scoring things.
Yeah, I mean, it's tackles, it's sacks, it's strip sacks, it's fumbles, interception. I mean, there's a ton of scoring for defensive players. If it's a league that values just tackling itself pretty highly, then I try to go after a lot of the D linemen because they get a shit ton of tackles. So linebackers and D linemen are probably the guys that you really want to go after. If it's a interception or fumble recovery kind of ordeal, then I like to get a lot of cornerbacks because of the interception. So it really depends. But I mean, I value defensive line probably the most for IDP. So yeah, Chase Young would definitely be probably top 10, top 15. I mean, for sure.
Nice.
While we're on, what do you got?
No.
While we're on injuries, the Cardinals, Rondale Moore and Greg Dortch probably out. I'm looking at some maybe Hollywood Brown props, get some DJ and Hollywood Brown props going on. Rondale gets like 12, 13 targets a game. Is that just going to transfer over to Marquise Brown?
Yeah, I would imagine so. I mean, I do think that they're going to put Brown on a pitch count. I mean, obviously he's just coming back from injury. If they're a team that thinks that they can make the playoffs, they're going to want, health as well. So I actually expect Hopkins to have a ton of targets today, anywhere from probably 12 to 15. I mean, I expect this game to be back and forth. It's supposed to be a high scoring game as well. So I think Hopkins is probably going to take a bulk of that, followed by James Conner. Sneaky play for tight end, Trey McBride. He's a motherfucking Mackey Award winner. So I mean, he's actually really good, and I expect him to have a pretty solid day. But yeah, I mean, I think Hollywood Brown should probably. I mean, I could see him getting 6 to 7 targets, probably. Not sure how valuable those targets are going to be because, again, they're not going to want him in there for 100% of the snaps. So I really expect the ancillary players behind Hopkins to have a good day.
All right, so Hopkins is the guy then. I'm also looking at Jeff Wilson, Raheem Mostert doubtful.
Boy.
Jeff Wilson could just have an atomic day, as well as Mark Andrews. Isaiah Likely ankle out. I did the first 2 touchdown bet with Mark Andrews, 50-1. I can't believe they let us do that.
Nice.
One of these days, I'm going to hit one of these fucking things.
Yeah,
and then I did Devin Duvernay first touchdown, Mark Andrews 2 touchdowns, just in case.
I love all the Baltimore stuff here. I love it.
Yes, Heavy, you were on Baltimore last week. That was your Monday night wrap up coach bet.
I think I did coach. The Steelers. I gave you that win.
Yeah.
So
I was on that. I listened to you, man.
This week we're going Ravens. I mean, I feel a little bit nervous because this is.
He said 5 units.
Yeah, rare. I don't ever play 5 units on much of anything, so I just think that it's the line should be at least a touchdown in my opinion, and I think it's like 3.5 still. So
yeah,
I just think Baltimore is going to die. So all the touchdown props, everything, if it hits for you, then it's going to hit for me. So
yeah, I think Baltimore beats the shit out of bad teams. It's just, is Jacksonville a bad team? Is the question.
Where's the public at on this? Have you seen? Is this a split? On action.
It is, it's 65% of the bets are on the Ravens and 56% of the money. So there is a little bit of an edge on the Jaguars with 35% of the bets, 44% of the money.
Yeah.
And it looks like it is one of the top bet games as well. There's over 12,000 tickets.
That's because people love 5 units on it. When you start throwing out 5 units on the
people love that number.
People show up.
I don't have that much of effect, but look,
Andrew,
I've had it good. So
Andrew, is Mark Andrews your number one tight end this week with likely out?
No, Kelsey's still number one. I mean, there's
Yeah,
he
hard
deserves
to
be
overtake Kelsey.
for sure. Obviously Andrews is still he's in the same tier for me, still tier one. Just those two alone. I do expect Andrews to have a very nice game. I mean, he hasn't really had a fantastic breakout game since like week 6 or 7 of this year. So I think today actually could be that day where he does end up scoring 2 touchdowns, has 8-9 targets. I expect a massive day from him. And I actually placed my largest bet on the Ravens first half spread, which was -2.5. They're a very good first half team. Don't think about what happened last week, because last week I have no idea what they were doing. But
that's probably why it's just 2.5.
Yeah,
a little discount.
I took the value on that. I put a lot of money on that. So hopefully, the Ravens can come out firing. But yeah, I like that bet a lot. Actually, I think the Ravens should blow the doors, off the Jags today. I don't know. I shouldn't say that because
had 7 or 8 receptions multiple times this year. He's gone over 100 a couple times. He's gone over 80 4 times. So,
definitely. Yeah, he should be awesome. It's going to be interesting to see, because this is a 43-point total. So I think the spread's actually good for the total, but I do agree. I thought the Ravens would open up at least 5.5, somewhere in there, and it never got there. So I think it's still a value at 3.5.
Back to the Chiefs. Jerick McKinnon didn't catch hardly, I don't know if he caught one football last week, but he's been on a tear catching balls. This week, just 21.5 receiving yards. I mean, I feel like he just needs a couple to go over that, right?
Yeah. Obviously CEH is out. Pacheco, they don't really use him in the passing. He's the ground and pound kind of guy. So I think it's going to be all McKinnon, and that line's actually pretty low, to be honest. I like that a lot. I might actually hop on there and bet that right now. I didn't realize it was that low.
Yeah, it's wild. I get in there, I throw the Miners helmet on, and I dig through all these props. You always find a couple mathematical errors in there. You're like, hang on a second, he's done this 7 times in a row. What are you talking about? And then Jeff Wilson. I mean, he's playing a terrible run defense. Mostert's doubtful. He's comfortable with McDaniel. He knows the scheme. There's no learning curve there. He's an explosive runner. I mean, I was looking at his longest rush in his games this year, because I took the over 17.5. His longest rush in some games is like 30, 41. Is he just going to destroy these guys today?
Yes, it is Jeff Wilson's season. He's actually somebody I just wrote about in my Underdog Battle Royale preview, because he was going pretty late in these Battle Royales. And yeah, I mean, with no Mostert there, the Texans' run defense is awful. They're actually 16th, I believe, against wide receivers. They are like first against running backs, allowing points. So I actually think that he's going to have a tremendous game. I do worry a little bit that Tua, Hill, and Waddle take this game over, and just Tua's, throwing touchdowns like nobody's business. But I honestly expect them to get up and then just go run heavy, after halftime, and that'll allow him to do a lot of stuff. And yeah, so I like all his props. I mean, he's going to be fantastic. It is definitely Jeff Wilson's season, and I'm not sure that Mostert's going to get over 20-25% of the touches after once Wilson shows what he can do as the lead back in a game. I highly doubt that they allow Mostert to get any more than 25% of the touches on a weekly basis.
Yeah, and he's probably going to show some stuff. He's going to show some things that he's not going to run next week. Try to trick Shanahan or do some inception shit about making Shanahan think he knows what. That's going to be a hell of a matchup next week. Miami, San Francisco, the student versus the teacher. I was looking at these most receiving yards in the early window. Tyreek Hill is the favorite at plus 165, and then Jalen Waddle is plus 714. I don't understand the discrepancy there. They're basically equal opportunity 100-yard guys.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the market just sees Hill as a guy that can make a catch and go 80 yards, with his own feet. Waddle doesn't have quite that same speed, but I believe on the year, Waddle and Tua are extremely close in their targets. So, to have that big of a discrepancy, I mean, the value is to take Waddle there for sure.
Derek Stingley Jr. is still not going to play. So, I mean, you can do whatever you want against these Houston Texans this week. Have you been watching the in-season Hard Knocks at all? I caught a couple episodes of it. These Cardinals look like they're packing it in.
Yeah, I haven't. You know, the Cardinals really aren't a team I care too much about like that. I love watching the before the season Hard Knocks, but the in season ones, I don't know. It's just different to me. So I haven't really watched. I think I caught one episode of it, but yeah, I mean, it's not something I've been watching.
It's super weird hearing that intro music in November. Like this is a June, July thing. This is very odd, but I feel bad for Budda Baker and JJ Watt and Hopkins because I think they're the only guys who give a shit if they win games. I'm like, there's got to be an angle in here somewhere. The only angle I could find is they're giving up.
Well, it's super weird to me that they still have a guy that's calling plays that's really knows little about football.
Even
More
weirder, they
interested in
extended
what he
his
looks like.
contract when they didn't have to.
I think what did he do to get that job in the first place? Like it was just kind of like a flash in the pan at the college level. I mean,
it wasn't even that. I mean, Chris says it all the time. I mean, the guy had Mahomes and they didn't do anything at Tech. He's not good. He's not good. When the game comes down, it comes down to crunch time, he makes bad decisions. I don't.
But he looks good in penny loafers and no socks. So that was the trend there. McVay started that. That was a little trend. He got swept up in it, got paid. He's push him out the back door.
Looks good sitting at his kitchen table at the draft with a cocktail.
Oh, that guy's such a douche. He recreated that shot for them on Hard Knocks. He sat on the couch and he's like, yeah, I just like open space. He has nothing in his house. It looks like a spec house. And then he walks up to this giant painting of a lion on the wall and he says, I'm a Leo, so that's the symbolism there. And I said, of course. Yeah. And then I turned it off.
That makes sense. Yeah, that guy, it's hard listening.
Accidental mute there, coach.
Yep, I see the little line.
It's hard listening to the guy talk.
Here's the thing about it is he's obviously not a good leader. It's one of those situations where he took a team over and it's just been a steady decline. And I think, in my opinion, Murray was a bad decision for the organization as well. I think that his heart's not in football, in my opinion. He should have played baseball. I think he probably would have had a better career in baseball, but football, I guess, is where the money was for him at the time.
I think you're crazy drafting a kid that high who's thinking about playing baseball right up until the draft.
He was already drafted to the Oakland A's. They already had drafted him.
Does Russ still go to work out with the Yankees?
Dude, he probably tells people he plays for the Yankees.
He absolutely still works out.
He probably tells people he plays for the Yankees.
Yeah.
I actually was really high on the Murray draft pick. I thought that was good, and I think Murray is a talent. The part that I knew that there was a disconnect when he started talking about how he doesn't watch film and how he doesn't
he sees it on the
have
field.
To study it, and that part really bothered me. And to me, that goes back to leadership. That goes back to the guy in charge going, hey, listen, man, I don't care if that's how you feel. We're never going to say that in front of a camera. We're never going to tell people that. I just didn't like that whole deal about him. But other than that, I think he's a weapon. He really, I just think that they have a lot of problems there at the top. And I think when the game's on the line, that guy melts every time. And I just don't understand why he's still in that position.
He is. I think he is a weapon.
Putting together parts to try to make a run.
I just think he's for me, he's too small. I feel like he can't see over the offensive line. I feel like his game is backyard football. It's scrambling, and I feel like he's always relied on that athletic ability, whether it be in college or the NFL. And I think it's starting to catch up to him a little bit in the NFL.
Well, and you remember that first season, there was some games where he literally looked like a video game player.
Yeah,
he was getting, just scrambling and doing things, and people were like, this guy. And that seems to have gone away. I mean, I think there's a way to scheme that. The dadgum Falcons did it for years with Vic. The Eagles did it with Vic.
Yeah, he's so small though. He can't take those hits,
he can't take the punishment. You're right.
Well, he can't see over those linemen either. That's a bit.
And like I said, it's not like he's a one-man band. They have pieces there. I mean, Hopkins is great. They've got some. They tried to make some moves at the end of last season, and it kind of fell apart on them. I don't know. They're in it. The division this year has gotten easier. So,
Yeah, that division is.
I think
not what it
it's
used to be.
it's time for them to blow it up, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I think you're really close, Heavy. I think that's probably going to happen at the end of the year. I think it's just, like I said, about 6 months too late because they could start with Kingsbury.
They're kind of like the Rams light version a little bit, with some of the players like you mentioned before with JJ Watt and all these guys who want to win. Those guys will be probably out next year, and coach will probably be out, and time to start over.
Yeah.
How long is JJ there? Is he a free agent after this year?
He's gonna retire after this year. He can't take this shit anymore.
Plus, he's got that heart condition too, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got
Oh my
arrhythmia.
gosh,
He's got
I
a
forgot
pretty
about
wife,
that.
a beautiful baby, a giant
forgot
house.
about
I mean,
that.
why would you keep playing? Andrew, I got a couple running back questions, and then I'll get you out of here. I assume you got a busy day ahead. It is Sunday. Giovanni Bernard activated. Lenny Fournette out. Tom Brady loves Gio Bernard. Is he a sneaky DFS play today? I can't find any props on him, but I want to work this angle somehow. And Najee, Jalen Warren out. Is Najee in for another 100 yards today?
I mean, I feel better about Najee, out of those two for sure. I wonder how much of a workload they're going to give Rachaad White. That's where my mind goes is, are they just going to give him 90% of the work and see what this kid can do? Or
He
are they
had
going to
20 plus carries last time, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he out snapped Lenny last time out. Now of course Lenny was a little banged up. So and again the weather in this game, right? If they're going to pass the ball, it's going to be short. A lot of times. So that actually helps Gio in this case. I don't know if I'd stick him in. I mean, I guess if you really bolster your team, and I mean, because I imagine he's pretty low on the totem pole here for salary.
Gotta
So.
be.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to throw him in there, I don't think it's a bad angle. I do worry a little bit that they are just going to ride Rachaad White and just see what this kid has.
Yeah, I think it's probably a good idea to do that. They fancy themselves a playoff team, run game, defense, travels.
Yep.
Yeah, we got Justin Fields out today. All right. I don't know. You can keep sticking around, Andrew. I don't know how much longer we're going to go, but I know you're a busy man. You're writing you're writing articles, doing podcasts. What do we think about this Bears game? Justin Fields, long shot to play with the left shoulder. What do we get? Trevor Siemian? I mean, that's gross.
Yeah, it's not
gross.
It's not gate. Yeah, that is not good.
No.
I don't like where the line's at either. For like, it's -7 now. Like, can you really trust the Jets to cover that line?
I like
-7?
Jets
Or trust the Bears
-5.5.
to cover it. You can't trust either side.
It's like
I don't-
that-
Yeah,
that's
trust
when
the
I
Bears
would.
to score points.
I don't think that one's going to be setting any viewing records on TV either.
I wonder
Yeah,
what the odds are on 0 touchdowns for the Bears today.
I got to see what the under is in that game.
Well,
I mean,
I
38.5.
actually was going to say I really do like the under in that game because I think they're going to have some weather too, right?
Yeah, and I think it's one of those situations too where it could look extremely low, but it's still going to hit.
I mean, it's two backup quarterbacks. You got Mike White versus versus Simeon.
Both teams to score 10 points, no, plus 240. I think the Bears go under 10.
Interesting.
I don't know if the Bears will score.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find exact touchdowns. Because I think Bears 0 touchdowns is
Let me see.
on the table. Chicago Bears to win both halves plus 750. Jets to win both halves plus 165.
It's not a bad bet.
First possession for Chicago results in a punt minus 140. I like that.
Oh.
It's going to be an ugly game.
The under it opened at 48 and it's at 38 and a
It
half.
dropped 10.
Jesus.
So is Justin Fields worth 10 points, Andrew, or is that the weather?
No. Yeah, he is not worth 10 points. No.
Nobody's ever been worth 10 points.
Well, dude, they don't have anybody else other than him, though. Like, if you really think about how they've won these games this year, it's solely been on his legs and his arm a little bit. But obviously, the beginning of the year, they looked awful. And then finally, they opened up the playbook and look what he was doing now. It sucks that he got hurt.
They are currently showing the Bucks and Cleveland game on TV right now, and it is pissing hard there, and it is super windy. So yeah, I would play probably all the props on all the running backs over receiving yards or over rushing yards because I doubt they're going to be able to throw the ball very well here.
Yep, this is a great opportunity to parlay attempts with yards. I like to do that to juice it up a little bit. Over attempts, over yards, that'll give you plus odds instead of a minus 120 or whatever you would be looking at. I mean, we've run through the injuries. We've run through the things. What else we got? Anything more to discuss?
Oh yeah, we got stuff.
We got a wheel to spin.
We have stuff, but is Andrew going to stick around? We're bringing in our very own Vanna White to do our contest, so we're not doing it. We're going to watch it.
All right.
See, I can hop off here. SGP every Sunday morning has a fantasy lounge that we let people come in and out of to ask questions.
Yep.
So, so I'll hop off here, guys. I appreciate the invitation. Anytime you guys want me to come on, let me know. I'm always game.
Anytime
Shout out,
you're free.
yeah. What's the podcast again? The one that you're on is fantasy
Yeah, it's the SGPN Fantasy Football. If you just go on YouTube and type that in, you can find us. We go live literally every single day. Obviously find me on Twitter at arob23. I love when people hit me up and they're like, "Hey man, just out of curiosity, will you answer a question for me?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course." Send them my way, man. I love it. So yeah,
that's what we do here. Thanks, Andrew. We'll definitely see you again.
Yes,
good luck on all your wagers and fantasy lineups.
Oh, do what? I jacked that up.
Anyways,
all right. Heavy.
That's what you guys did to me on the Rattler deal.
We gotta bring in.
Now we're gonna bring in
Vanna White pretty soon. So you're still on Baltimore.
Oh, I was drum rolling.
Baltimore, right?
I still like Baltimore. No turning back at this point.
No,
All
you're
right.
in for a penny, in for a pound.
When he says 5 units, that's go get her. We're gonna bring in Miss Heather Schaus from Schaus in the House. She's gonna run our contest.
All right.
What's up, fam?
Good morning, Heather.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm going to share my computer screen with you guys and first show you guys
And explain what you're doing. Like, what is it?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm so sorry. So I offered to help a little bit behind the scenes with some of the social media for Patriot Sports to help you guys build your community. And I thought one way, hello, Miss Angela. Hi. I thought one way to do that is to first give thanks to the people who have been supporting you up to this point in time. So it's Thanksgiving weekend. So I thought a nice drawing for some Patriot Sports gear would be a good way to start that process for you guys. So we started the drawing earlier this week. Entries were, if you liked one of the posts, you got 1 entry. If you shared that post, you got 2 entries. If you came to YouTube and subscribed to your all's channel, you got 5 entries. And then if you went that extra step further and you actually decided to turn on notifications so that you always knew when Patriot Sports was doing something, you got 10 entries. So we have a total of, let me pull this up real quick. A total of 173 entries for your contest. So
can you share your screen?
We picked up a bunch during this live stream.
I think so. Yeah.
We picked up like 15 during this stream.
Let's just share. I'll just share it this way. And then that way I can just pull it up. So just so everybody sees from a transparency perspective, here is the spreadsheet for everybody who liked, shared, subscribed, notifications. So everybody is there in the list. The way that this process works.
Look at all those humans.
So here's the wheel. What did I say the number was? 173? Yes. Okay, so we're putting 173 in here. And in my most Vanna White attitude, I hit spin.
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies.
Big money, no whammies.
I'm pulling for the Hawaii guy.
And the winner for the shirt is number 42. So we
Jackie
go back
Robinson.
to the spreadsheet to number 42, and that is
The coach. Yes.
You got to be shitting me.
Io Yibo, number 1. So they
Pay that man his money.
Not number 2. Number 1.
Yes. So there you guys go.
So
Nice.
say that name again, or spell it, so shout it out so they can hit us up. And
It
I guess
is-
you'll put it out on social media, right?
Yes. I will tweet it out because he did do it on Twitter, and he did subscribe and turn notifications on for you guys too. So that
yeah,
is
bunch of-
somebody.
That's how you win. Put
Yeah.
your thumb on that scale.
All right.
That's awesome.
Woo!
Well, thank you, Heather.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I love you
Hey.
guys. Heavy, real quick before I leave out of here. Are you in Indiana?
I'm from Indiana, but I'm down in Atlanta.
Oh, God.
Hoosier.
You should have stayed.
Yeah.
There. It's way
Who's
better.
your baby? I'm
right.
from Evansville, Indiana.
That's where I went to college.
Hey,
U of E
Heather,
or USI?
U of E.
Okay.
All right. I
where-
love you
where
guys.
Can
You guys
everybody
take care.
find you?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
You can find me on Twitter. That's where I spend most of my time. It's at Shouse34. And then my podcast is everywhere. You can find. So I have 2. I have a morning show. It's Everything Yesterday This Morning, and that is on all of the places. And then I have Shouse in the House. So you can find me with either of those names. I love you guys. You guys take care. Have a good day.
Bye.
Thank you, Heather. And Friday night Liberty Happy Hour. You can catch Heather there too.
Yes, on Twitter Spaces, Liberty Happy Hour.
Yep.
3 men do not need permission. Remember that.
We just do what we want. Whatever I do, I want.
Coach, what game are you looking forward to today? Kick back and eat some non-meat, or
Man, I'm back on the train.
I wish it was a hamburger.
Back on the
I don't know what
Veggie
you eat,
Express.
Oh,
Are you?
dude, I just lost control there and went into a blur for about 6 days. I've got to get back.
How many tacos were consumed in 6 days?
Oh, dude.
Oh,
Infinity.
dozens.
I don't even know. I just started killing tacos and then ran into Thanksgiving. It was bad. Next thing you know, my pants don't fit. I'm in the corner with the milkshake on my shirt.
See, you could have blamed Thanksgiving, but it sounds like you started before Thanksgiving.
Yeah. You know, Thanksgiving is a bit for me. I trained for it all year.
Yeah.
And, you know, it just starts it's really a week of Thanksgiving because I'm off that entire week. So, yeah, I got carried away. I am excited to watch the Jacksonville and Baltimore today.
Do you have money on that?
You know,
American currency?
I didn't until I talked to Heavy, and now I promise you I probably will.
Yeah, me too.
That's probably going to happen. In fact, as soon as I get off here, I think that's going to happen. I'm looking at
Go ahead.
No, you know, there's a lot of interesting games. A lot of interesting games today. You know, you got the Arizona and the Chargers game is exciting for me. You know, late in the late window, and it's only because I think both of those teams are really flailing and need a win. I like to watch Tommy Terrific today. You know, he's got Cooper's been really hot for me lately. So we'll see what Cleveland does there. And there's supposed to be a little bit of weather involved in that one. So that one's going to be a good one too.
Is that going to be the Chubb and Hunt show?
Yeah. Well, yeah, probably. I mean, that's what it's looking like. You know, Green Bay, do they have a chance at Philly?
Can you talk us into that a little bit, Heavy?
I can't. I tried to talk myself into it last night, looking at pictures of Rodgers getting on the plane looking like some kind of magazine spread. I was like,
no, did he dress up like a Kama Sutra dude again?
No, he just, you know, he's doing his thing.
He's just pretty.
He's trying to get on the plane and convince everybody they got a chance to win. And I'm like, just win. Just win. Win the damn game.
What's that line at right now? Is it at 7 or did it go to 6.5?
Yeah,
it was 6.5 this morning.
Yeah. See, I'm on Green Bay 7. I wouldn't take it less than 7.
If it would go to 7,
7's your number.
Key number 7. Yep.
You know, go ahead.
I probably wouldn't put a big play on it either. It's, you know, I'd probably put a unit on it.
It's 6.5 right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't take Green Bay at 6.5.
So you just stay away from that one.
Yep.
Just walk away. Walk away. put your wallet in your pants, go back over to Baltimore, put the rest of the money over there.
You don't even know. You don't even know what you're going to get there. I mean,
No,
this could be we're mailing it in and we're done. It could be the Rodgers of old makes an appearance, just a middle finger to everybody. You never know what you're
very
going to get.
possible.
Yeah,
that's
no,
a possible
and that's
scenario.
the thing with that team. You don't know which Green Bay is going to show up.
No.
And you don't know what, are you going to get the team of last year? You're going to get the team of this year that has no receivers. So, a game that I really like on the marquee that we haven't talked about much, and we kind of dabbled in it, and that's this Kansas City and Rams game. It's really interesting to me. I like Kansas City.
Stafford?
Yeah. That I think there's going to be a little bit of weather there too, but that's going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to watching that one today.
I will say this about the Green Bay game, just to go back to it for a second. NFL is obviously copycat league, and the last 2 games for the Eagles, there's a blueprint out now of how to stay in the game. And like we talked about running the ball, obviously it's questionable whether they're going to do it or not, but if you want to beat the Eagles or stay in the game, you can run the ball on the Eagles.
You know what irritates me is I think LaFleur's calling run plays, and every time Aaron touches his helmet and says
he's just changing it.
Like, he's fucking changing the play. God, it makes me mad.
It's a bubble screen to the slot wide receiver quite often. So it's like, is LaFleur calling that many?
Well, and really, honestly, I look at that from a management standpoint. I mean, I look at that from hey, listen, man, I understand you're the 2-time MVP, but our record says otherwise. So you're going to call what I put in. I mean, and do you have the satchel to do that to a 2-time MVP?
Yeah, how do you
if
manage
you don't,
that?
We don't need you.
Yeah, it's hard to manage that, I bet. I think that Rodgers manages the franchise. I don't know if that's the other way around.
And it may be the tail wagging the dog there. That may be the deal. But I listen, man, they've got some glaring holes.
You know why they manage it, Chris? Because they drafted Jordan Love. So Aaron Rodgers can look straight at him and be like, what?
What else you gonna do?
Oh, and I can't argue with that logic.
No, none of us can. That sucks.
Move. I mean, we've established that and built houses around that concept here on this program. So,
yep.
Another game I like that the line is still relatively close and I'd still take is the Commanders. I think they're at -4 now. I got them at -3.5, but I'd still take them at -4 because in my opinion, the 2 teams with the Falcons and Commanders, they're moving in opposite directions.
People are still caught up on the Falcons covering every game.
Yeah, and the weather obviously is going to come in and play a factor into this game as well. But I just think that despite Chase Young news, obviously that sucks, but the Commanders defense has improved. They're on it. Heineke's 10-2-1 against the spread since Halloween, and I think that you still got a lot of value at -4 to take Washington still.
Yeah. I mean, Mike White is a turnover waiting to happen.
So, Heavy, talk to us a little bit about the Tampa Bay game. I know you like that one.
I do like that one.
Or you did yesterday. These are day-to-day decisions.
Well, the weather is obviously, going to play a big factor in that game. Tampa Bay's their defensively have always been, stout against the run. So hopefully, they can have some success in the run game, stopping the run and then running the football. Obviously, you guys said what's his name's out, Fournette's out, but I like the backup. Obviously,
White.
Yeah, I think
he's the future of that, right?
I think he's every bit as good as Fournette at this point.
I don't see any drop off from that. And, ever since, and Will's going to love this if he sees it, or ever since Brady had that fourth quarter drive, like a couple weeks ago, it's almost like that kind of, put him on a different trajectory, and they kind of clicked a little bit more last game. So,
well, he's been saying that. He's like, ever since they signed those divorce papers.
No, I'm talking that fourth quarter drive. Like,
you're right.
I like Will's logic there.
Yeah, I didn't think that was the turning point, but I think I've been proven
that fourth
wrong.
Quarter drive, though, something changed. You're absolutely correct, and it hasn't looked back.
But is there not a different vibe when you go home to an empty house?
Well,
not saying that in a negative manner.
Is the house empty or is someone waiting?
Either way, that that turnstile
Look
gate
at
is
hey,
at
look
your
at coach's
disposal.
coach's little smile comes up. Isn't there something?
He's just
It's a
When you
different
get
way of
home
life. It's a
and
different
all
way of
there
life.
is waiting for you is a
I
dog?
try not to
lot
think
to be
about
said
it,
for a quiet house.
yeah,
To be honest,
a lot to be
I-
said for a turnstile gate that you hold the button to.
I think that I honestly think though the way that Brady is, I don't think he's in all that right now. I think he's
And
I think he's
even
laying
better,
low.
even better if he's not. There's no distractions from what he is into. I'll tell you.
And
that.
all he's doing is watching film. Yeah.
And that's
Hey,
fine. You can
have
go
you-
home and watch film with Chinese food, and nobody's going to bitch about the dishes.
Have you guys ever seen the video of him asking him for a kiss from his son? Have you guys seen that?
Uh-uh.
You
yeah,
have to.
it
You've
was the
gotta
Tom
watch it.
vs. Time
Dude.
documentary.
I think like his son was asking like to do something with his fantasy team, and Tom was like, "You got to give me a kiss first." And he came and gave him a kiss, and he was like, "That wasn't long enough," and he made him kiss him
Hey.
again. You have to watch the video. You have to watch
I
it. It's
think
on
I get the
YouTube. I'm
gist.
sure.
Okay. Well,
It was. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I was like, "Man, what is going on in the Brady household?"
I don't really know. That's a little out of my league there. So
My opinion on Tom Brady forever changed when I saw that video.
Yep, that's a
oh my.
that'll change.
Well,
some
now I got to
things.
watch it. God
Yeah,
dang
now
it.
I'll be looking for that.
He was like 11, or like he wasn't like a little kid, So
It's a bit of a much.
Hey, everybody's different.
everybody's different. You're right.
Hey, I gotta go.
Hey,
All right,
coach,
Coach.
it was good to have you,
See you
brother.
guys. Heavy,
Yeah.
good to see you.
See you, Coach.
And just like that, Coach is back out there.
Hey, I have
Yeah.
I have one more for you.
Yep, let's go. I like it.
Cincinnati,
Okay.
second.
I like it
sec-
already.
Second half. I don't know what the line is now. I got it at Pick'em, but Titans obviously are a strong first half team, but they're 3-7 against the spread in the second half. So, and I already like the Bengals on the game. I'm not taking the full game, but I'm going to take that second half Pick'em bet.
So we have Baltimore for the game.
Baltimore for the game, Commanders, and then that second half Cincy bet would be my top 3 bets of the week.
And then where did we land on the Tampa Bay bet? Are we?
I took Tampa Bay at -3. It's
Yeah.
not like just with the weather. You never know with the weather, man. It just turnovers. It's going to probably be a sloppy game. So that becomes
We're staying
20
away
points.
from the Jets game.
I have the
Look at
Jets.
it.
I have
you
the
took
Jets,
it.
but I took it early. So
You are the
Yeah, it
best
was
at
4.5,
early.
5.5 all week.
So I got it at 3.5. So
Oh,
typically
nice.
on Sundays while I'm watching football, I'll try to get some gauge and some reads on some teams and things like that. And I'll usually try to take 2 or 3 games on Sunday early. And then obviously you can hedge out, buy out if the line goes in a direction you don't want it to. But like in that situation, for example, I was watching the Falcons game here in Atlanta, and I saw he got hurt. Fields got hurt. He wasn't looking normal in the second half of the game. Went over, got the line at 3.5, and then now look at it, it's at 7. So
Yeah,
just while you're watching the
Way
game,
on the right side.
yeah. So now watch. It'll probably it won't even matter in the end. Watch. You just know how gambling is. Like it's
yeah.
every time you think. My biggest advice for you guys, if you're new to this, is whatever you think is going to happen, the exact opposite is probably going to happen. So
Yep.
a lot of times we look at these games, like for example, the Eagles, and we're like, dude, they're on a roll. They're scoring points. Nobody can stop them. They're stopping everybody. And then those 2 back-to-back games against teams they should have easily handled, they were in it till the end. So
Yeah, they roll into Indianapolis and almost lose to an old man and an offensive lineman.
Yep. NFL's crazy. It's crazy. So when you get those big lines, like, Thanksgiving's a little bit different because historically, like, heavy favorites do well on Thanksgiving. But outside of that, like, the NFL is typically most games are going to be close. So
Yeah.
you got to take advantage of that stuff.
Vegas is smart. They do know what they're doing, and they know how to manipulate your brain a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
If
not
you don't
allowing you to
understand
bet
they're doing it,
props.
they're gonna do it.
Like not allowing you to bet props.
Yeah.
It's just like they always have the advantage over you. Always.
Yeah.
They
Yep.
always got to have the advantage over you one way or another. But every once in a while, the public will take them down.
Yeah.
Heavy, what platform do you bet on?
I use different ones. I use Bet Online, MyBookie, and Bovada are the main ones. The one thing that I like about Bovada is they give you a cash out option. So a lot of times when I get these lines, if the line's not changing on Bovada, I can cash out and grab it at another spot. So
yeah.
But obviously I'm in Georgia, so we haven't advanced.
We haven't either.
Legalizing gambling or anything else that could make us some money. So we're behind the times. So down here, it's the Bible Belt, dude. Everybody down here is not.
Hey, that belt comes all the way up to Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's like going back in time. Bovada has some great software for the live betting. The numbers move fast, and you can get bets in. On MyBookie, it's always, you can't get that bet in because the line changed while you were entering your bet.
And Bovada has. You have so many different alternate lines you can get, different variations, way more. As far as Bet Online, it's a little tricky to find those things, and it's not as consistent. But I feel like Bovada that pretty much reaches like anything you want to bet. Like, dude, I was betting like KBO, like first inning.
Oh yeah, I do that in the morning too. Oh yeah, we're like great friends.
It's 4 a.m. and it's like I'm betting like Kiwoom, and like it's insane. And you wake up and you either win or you lose.
I'm like, hang on, is Samsung ranked? Hang on, they're the 8th ranked team. Yeah,
dude, I was on I was betting like first inning money lines, like parlaying them, and it would be like it'd be like plus 1,500 on those. These
books don't know what to do with Korean baseball.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. So what I try to do is
you guys are talking about Korean baseball right now.
Find a couple guys on Twitter that can give you info. And we're just degenerates, you know what I'm saying? You asked about books, I'm giving you.
There's an angle.
I love it.
Fucking degenerate you.
That's right.
Fucking kids at home.
Betting on the goddamn Kiwoom fucking heroes at 4 a.m.
Listen,
what the fuck is
as
wrong
long as you're not betting table tennis, you're good. So don't get to that level.
Oh, did you just see Eric? He's like
table
tennis. Yeah, nope, haven't bet
I've
table
never
tennis
done
yet.
that.
Not
At
even
2
in the
morning.
Olympics. Get down on some rugby maybe, but a little bobsled maybe. Yeah,
That's
I
awesome.
wonder when we go legal how much I'll even use the legal books because Bovada doesn't want to know anything about my personal information.
Well, one thing I think you'll take advantage of is same game parlays, like with all this the different props you can bet, and like some of these legal books like kind of let you do a little bit more with parlays and stuff like that.
Oh, I like that.
How are we close in Wisconsin? Have you heard anything about that?
I think everywhere the conversation's happening in almost every state. So I think
they're seeing the money pour in to these other states.
It's like crazy. They just want to hold on to the lottery. We have the lottery.
Yeah,
people
cool.
Play the lottery. Yeah. The people that play the lottery now are still going to play the lottery.
Yep, I guarantee you.
The lottery.
It's just like it's just like marijuana. Like you're missing out on all this money. Like people are gonna find out how to get it if it's legal or not. We're betting if it's legal or not. We're finding these offshore sites and stuff like that. So it's just the government's missing out.
Yeah.
On their
take your little piece and fix the fucking road. What are we doing?
Now I will say this: it's like the taxes and stuff. So once you get in that, you're on FanDuel. Yeah, you got it. I think you have to do all these tax forms and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
I went 10 grand on Bovada. That's nobody's business but mine and Bovada's.
Yep.
Cash apps.
Yeah, and Cash App. That's the thing. Yeah.
It's all Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying?
Got the Cash App locked up. Yeah, it's just a Bitcoin. As long as Bitcoin's around, we'll be okay.
Yep.
We did the Sunday night game. We did the Monday night game. I think we're good. This has been awesome. Heavy Steps, you got to come back. I'm glad you're a real person and we put a face to the name.
The chat probably misses me though.
Yeah, probably. It's probably a little light. It's like when we don't have coach in for Patriot Sports. It takes 10 to 15 minutes off. There's like nine fewer comments. But fair trade. We got the actual.
Oh yeah,
man.
We get to actually see that you're not an AI computer. I'm into that.
That's right.
You start to wonder when he's talking about 50 units. You're like, hang on, that's a supercomputer. That's not a person.
All right, well, folks, are you gonna want to get out of here?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Yep. Time to make some waffles and put in some bets. Love it. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you for your questions. Thank you, Andrew, Morgan, Heavy Steps, Heather for spinning our wheel. And everybody who likes and comments and subscribes. Easy for me to say. Go do that. Tell a friend. Bring a friend next week. Till then, be good to each other. Chris, kick the outro music.
You've been listening to Patriot Sports Radio. If you're sick of all the national talking heads and biases of mainstream sports media, like we are, this show is for you. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. For more content and merch, hit up www.patriotsportsnow.com. Find us on Twitter at PatriotsPod, on Instagram and Facebook at Patriot Sports Now, and on Getter, Rumble, and YouTube at Patriot Sports. Take care, and we'll see you next time.